Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. Following 13 years on City Council, including 2 terms as mayor, Jerrod Schafer is not seeking re-election this fall. The Swift Current Fire Department continues to investigate a bin fire from earlier this week. The Cypress Health region will officially receive the keys to Swift Current's new long-term care facility on April the 30th. November 5th will be another big night for the Swift Current United Way, as it hosts the 2nd annual Foundation of Hope Gala. Thanks for joining us here today. As the fall election approaches, Jerrod Schafer will not be seeking re-election for mayor here in Swift Current. We have more in today's top story. Following 13 years on City Council, including 2 terms as mayor, Jerrod Schafer is not seeking re-election this fall. The announcement was made during a press conference at City Hall on Monday, with Schafer saying the timing was right to make his intentions known for the upcoming civic election.
There are definitely days when I look forward to more personal time and less responsibility, but I cannot stress how hard it is to walk away from something that I have worked so hard for the past 13 years with people that I have so much respect for. I'd like to thank the people of Swift Current for giving this opportunity to me. I was 26 years old when I first asked for the opportunity to serve, and I want to thank everybody that took a chance voting for me at that time.
And after serving 13 years on council, Schafer says there's a number of projects which he's proud to see come to fruition in the community.
For me, obviously, Safe Places is one that's more recent than not. One that I think is important because I think the work that it's going to do to educate us on abuse and how we deal with that in our community. But I also think, it took us from the national perspective of being a community where, Graham James committed those horrific acts to now I think we're seen as potentially a national leader at the municipal level. So that's certainly one. Then, something smaller, one of the things that really I've grown to appreciate over my time, certainly as mayor, is my participation in Remembrance Day and getting to know our local vets and seeing the impact that day has on them and our community. So one little change we made was moving the number 4 bypass to Memorial Drive. And that's not a big thing that you count in terms of tax revenue, stuff like that, but it was a decision that I was fortunate to be a part of, and little things like that mean a lot.
While there's one specific area he wishes more could have been accomplished during his tenure on council.
For me, probably the biggest thing that I would have liked to see a little more progress on was some relationship building and agreements with the Arma Swift Current. I think that's was contentious long before I was ever on council, and we've made great strides here in the region with everyone working together on PPIH. Everyone, of course, paying the same per capita amount on long-term care, I think are huge strides, but there's regional agreements on recreational, recycling, waste, things like that throughout the province. So I would have loved to see us make stronger gains in working together, and hopefully that's something that will continue moving forward.
And as far as any words of advice for Swift Current's incoming mayor, Schafer had these comments.
It's amazing how much progress can happen when you do look for solutions. So I would think just keeping that open mind and always keeping the best interests of the city of Swift Current above and beyond anything else.
Voters in Swift Current will cast their ballots in the 2016 municipal election in October.
It's just a different way of looking at curling. It makes it fun and exciting and engaging.
It's the talk, interaction between the people.
It's like a family reunion, actually. You kind of, when you all get together, you've all have something in common or whatever, so it's kind of like a family reunion to me. That's how I feel.
Tinder dry conditions in the Swift Current area continues to be a major concern for fire officials, following a blaze earlier this week. The Swift Current Fire Department continues to investigate a bin fire from earlier this week. Crews were called to the scene near the home and in suite shortly before 6 p.m. on Tuesday. A wooden bin was engulfed in flames and totally destroyed, while an adjacent steel bin containing various household items sustained smoke damage. Crews remained at the scene throughout the evening to address any hot spots. And as the Swift Current Fire Department investigates the cause of the fire, the public is reminded to exercise caution due to the tinder-dry conditions, especially when it comes to lit cigarettes, as fires can spread quickly through the dry grass. Mild and dry conditions remain in the Swift Current weather forecast. Fundraising continues to furnish the new long-term care facility in Swift Current, and all donations, large and small, are greatly appreciated. The Cypress Health region will officially receive the keys to Swift Current's new long-term care facility on April the 30th, and fundraising continues behind the scenes to furnish and equip the new building. Initially, the Dr. Noble Irwin Regional Healthcare Foundation had been tasked with the goal of raising $8 million by May 1st. However, with a large amount of money to be raised in a short period of time and a downturn in oil prices, the foundation has now set a new goal, with the following amount raised to date.
And I guess to go back in history a little bit, when we started the campaign last year, we had done a feasibility study, or our consultants had done a feasibility study on our behalf. And it was determined as part of that feasibility study that $3.5 to $4 million was more realistic target. And I know the health region was hoping that we could all band together and come closer to the $8 million and make sure that the new place opened with all brand new equipment. But we had sort of had feelings at that point that that was a pretty optimistic goal. And since our feasibility study had said that it was. So in our own minds, we've been hoping for that $3.5 to $5 million is what we would hope to gather. And again, we're in that halfway range there.
Johnson says that local residents and other prospective donors are reminded that all donations make a difference in reaching their goal, whether large or small.
We estimate there to be 20,000 people in the immediate trade area of this project. And if we could get people to come together at between $800 and $1,000 per person, then we're going to reach and exceed our goal, actually. And so we would be asking people to give some consideration to a gift in that line. Certainly, I mean, if you can provide more, great. But if everyone came together with that $800 to $1,000, we'd reach our target pretty quickly.
Meanwhile, from the health region's perspective, it's already looking at what equipment and furnishings can be utilized from the 3 current facilities, rather than having all brand new items for opening day.
Again, big facility. We have 27 more beds, so that means 27 new beds that have to be purchased because we don't have them. We'll bring beds over, we'll look at replacing mattresses, but we won't be replacing all of the beds new. There's also things that we've decided that we can't purchase right off the bat if the funding isn't there. And it's things like a sleeper chair in every room. One of the things that we really want to ensure is that families are able to be with their family member resident in the facility if they feel the need that they want to spend a night and be there for comfort and support and a good visit. So things like that, we've had to make some decisions, but those are the kinds of things, though, with ongoing fundraising, support from the foundation, that we'll certainly look at adding in as time goes on.
And as far as the timeline for the grand opening of Swift Current's new long-term care facility, Vachon says this will happen in stages, as training for staff at the new site continues, followed by public tours and the actual transition of residents into their new home, all of which should be completed by September, with a grand opening plan for sometime in the fall. The Swift Current United Way is building momentum for its annual fall fundraiser. We have more in this report. November 5th will be another big night for the Swift Current United Way, as it hosts the 2nd annual Foundation of Hope Gala. The 2016 event recently received a kickstart to its fundraising, with a check presentation of $15,000 from JayDee AgTech. The company is once again on board as the presenting sponsor for the event without hesitation.
I believe it's critical. We live and work in 17 communities in Saskatchewan. Some of them quite small, some of them, a lot larger like Swift Current. And it's important that we support our staff in those communities and the communities that we live and work in. So we believe it's critical.
Positive news for the Swift Current United Way, as it sets a goal of raising $100,000 this year through the Gala, as funds and awareness of its various agencies asking for support are featured throughout the fall fundraiser.
I know last year a lot of people walked away not even realizing all the different nonprofits that come to us for funding every year and the diverse sectors that are needing supports. And so that's one thing that we're hoping to increase on even more is that awareness piece and just getting the word out there of all these different groups that are doing really good work that often go unnoticed and under-recognized for their work.
The second annual Foundation of Hope Gala will feature a masquerade ball theme at the Sky Center, with tickets going on sale September 1st through the Swift Current United Way. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.